Hey modders, welcome back to ModifedRoll. We're sponsored by DM Dice. Use the code ModifedRoll or follow the link in the description to get 10% off all your adventuring needs. We're also sponsored by Arcanist Rum. Check them out and use code ModifedRoll to get 15% off all purchases and free shipping. In the last episode, our party finally completed the task they had been sent out on, to deliver the message to the king. They perhaps got a little bit more than they bargained for and are now working directly for the crown. But they've got a little bit of time before their first official mission. So we rejoin them now while they have a little bit of downtime in the city of Belgravia. In this, episode 41 of season 2 of ModifedRoll, An Old Flame. It is a couple of days after you guys have met and spoke with the king. You've obviously been told that you're awaiting information, and in the meantime you are allowed to settle in to your new digs and get accustomed to the city once again. Obviously for some of you that's a little easier than others. Ilyana, you are already relatively familiar with the city, as we found out previously. So in the few days now that you have to sort of wind down and get yourself ready for the next trials, what would you be doing in your downtime?
Well, we have just moved into a brand new house. So I feel like I would want to do some shopping to try and find some things for my room. But I feel like she would want to do that with Twilight, and Twilight kind of looks busy already. I think she's got the plans. So I feel like, what else can you do when you've got downtime? Let's go to a tavern, obviously.
I think that should be the subtitle for ModifedRoll. ModifedRoll. Let's go to the tavern.
Perfect.
So would you head to somewhere new, or would you head back to the Inner Demon?
Good. That's a good question. I'm checking my notes on what the other ones were. What time of day is it? Sorry, Jordan.
That's entirely up to you. What time would you want to head to the tavern? Would you be heading there for like opening time, or are you heading out just in like late afternoon, early evening?
Who do you think I am, turning up at the tavern at opening times, like on the door, like let me in?
I mean, to be fair, if you're heading back to like the Inner Demon, I imagine that that probably wouldn't be the first time you've arrived at opening time.
I leave when it opens the next day.
But yeah, as a reminder, you've got the Pleasant Duck with the constantly rewritten sign. You've got the Frowning Owl, which I believe is the Frowning Owl, the one which is very well known to be a sort of organised crime front, much to the chagrin of the owner. And you've got the Bloody Dragon, which is like sort of adventurers' digs, and obviously, as you already know, the Inner Demon. These are all the ones in the high streets as well. Obviously, there are other ones in the low streets.
Yeah, I kind of want to go somewhere. I want to go to the Bloody Dragon. I think that sounds fun.
Cool. You head off. You've probably seen it before. Whether you've been in or not, that's entirely up to you. But when you get close, you see the dragon, or the dragon. Christ. When you get close, you see the sign hanging, like swinging gently in the breeze above the door. And from a distance, it looks just like a woodcut of a lounging red dragon. But once you get closer, you can see that there are hints of white here and there, indicating that the dragon isn't red. It's just been flayed and is covered in blood. But when you step inside, you find I would say if you're heading there sort of late afternoon, early evening, the Bloody Dragon is always a rowdy tavern. Like it is a place where adventurers go to drink. It is, quaffing ale, which I always go by the Terry Pratchett definition of quaffing, which means that to quaff, the majority of the ale has to miss your mouth. Constantly full of adventurers in heavy armor, carrying overly, like, comically large weapons. There are multiple trophies on the wall with the heads of various creatures, owl bears, like smaller, younger dragons, the like. But like, even if you've not been in here before, like the tavern is well known. While it might be rowdy, it never gets too rowdy. And that's thanks to the owner, Varen Roth, a Goliath ex-adventurer who maybe you have been in before, because he is a very large, muscular man who often wears very little clothing, mostly like basic furs and leathers. He prefers to tend the bar himself, so that if things do get too rowdy, he can pull out his large club that he used to go adventuring with and quieten things down a bit. But as you go in, it is loud. There's a lot going on already. Are you going in for food or just a drink?
Nah, who needs food? Just a drink.
Food is for weaklings.
Exactly.
Food is for quitters. You head to the bar. Varen there, a large man and a somber man of very few words. He just nods to you.
Hello, good sir.
He just nods again.
Oh. I was hoping that he would be a bit more like Sinclair. The way I just forgot Sinclair's name completely, though. That's terrible, isn't it?
I'll tell Pete.
Yeah, no. No, Pete, I'm sure Pete will hear it when he listens to the episode, like he listens to all of them. Your finest mead, please.
He reaches down, and you actually see. Give me a history check to see if you would know this, actually.
Ooh, 10.
You've probably heard rumours that the mead here is very good, but that's about it. But you do see he reaches down behind the bar and pulls up a bottle. Like it's obviously got like a handwritten label and stuff on it, and he sets it down in front of you, and it just says "Adventurer's Best."
Ooh, artisan.
Hand brewed. Yeah, you set that up, you pay, and as you look, I imagine, are you sort of leaning against the bar counter, or would you head to get a table?
I'll lean against the bar, that sounds cool.
They're very suave and sophisticated. Cool, while you're there enjoying your drink, can I get a perception check, please?
13.
13. See how loud they're being. Quite loud, apparently. While you are stood there enjoying your drink, you are just sort of like taking a moment, relaxing. This isn't like when you've been out with the rest of the group and it's been like, you're going hard at it, you're having a party. This is, you're just taking a moment to yourself, away from the group. And as you stand there, relaxing, basking in the warmth of the tavern, you hear a voice that you instantly recognize.
Oh, great. Brilliant. Oh, great. Who is it?
You don't even have to turn around. It's Sarul.
Oh, shit. Oh, I don't know what, I didn't even think that this would happen. I don't know why. In my head, I was like, this is gonna happen. For God's sake.
I knew you wouldn't be expecting it, and I was waiting for that reaction.
So annoying.
So, you hear Sarul's voice. Do you turn around, or what's your plan here?
Oh, I don't know. Oh.
I'd like to imagine Kiliana, who was just like quietly supping on her drink, is now just like frozen at the bar, refusing to move.
The worst thing is I'm on my own as well, so this is a nightmare.
Yep.
She'll try and sneak away.
You're trying to leave?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a stealth check, please.
Oh, I'm very good at this. This is the problem.
I would say that I'll being honest with me. How rattled are you hearing his voice?
Yeah, pretty bad.
Disadvantage then.
Mm. It's still pretty good. 17.
What is my... I should probably have the stats open because I rolled a 16, but I'm pretty sure I have a +3 in perception for 19. You're quiet, but you're not quiet enough. Unfortunately, as you turn, you don't try to seek him out, because you know if you try to spot him, it gives him a better chance of spotting you. You're not like ducking down and like scurrying across the floor, but you're just trying to be natural. Unfortunately, there's just one of those serendipitous moments where the crowd just moves and you're left face to face about 5 feet away from Sarul, sat at a table facing into the room, who stops mid-sentence and also just freezes looking at you.
Oh my gosh! What?
Giliana?
Yeah.
I was like, no, right.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, he jumps up from the table, like, nearly knocking his chair over. He's like same as you, like he's now just like on it, like running on adrenaline. And he just like jumps up, like, I didn't realize you were in Belgravia.
Oh, I'm trying to think like what my letter said. That's a lie.
Funny enough, I looked this up. You did tell him that you were heading to, that you told him where you were moving into. Give me an insight check.
That is so funny. Insight. Natural 20.
He's not lying. Theraseed is much further away from Belgravia than Cairn was. You know for a fact if you've got to Cairn, or from Cairn to here in the time that your letter was sent, he must have left Theraseed before you would have sent the letter.
Okay. Oh.
So yeah, he isn't bullshitting you.
That would have been...
Like, I didn't think you'd be here.
Has planned it to a T.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get my letter?
No, I've been away from Theraseed for, and he looks to the three companions at his table, and it says a month and a half, 2 months. About 2 months now.
Oh, and what are the odds that you would turn up here same time as me?
I mean, yeah, and you see, he just greases his. Yeah. What are the odds? And you see he's just looking at you at the minute, and then, please, you here alone? You see him like looking around to see if you've got any people with you.
Yeah, me and physically yes, but I guess me and the guy that runs this place, Verin, we're like really good friends.
He looks over to Vart, and Verin is just sort of like stood there, arms crossed, just watching this exchange, saying nothing.
She'll like turn around and be like, and like wave.
he just once again just nods, says nothing. Well, if you're here alone, would you like to join us? And he gestures to the table that this group is sat at.
Yeah. I actually also have like 3 friends. This is getting really weird.
You're like, not with friends.
Yeah. So yeah.
Are they in the city as well?
Yes, they are.
Oh, you must introduce me then while we're here. But actually, speaking of, I don't know how long we're going to be here for, but please join us now. And he sort of gestures to an NPC, pulls it out for you, and you sit down at a table with Zerul, who you obviously already know very well, and 3 other people. Ben, what does your character look like, and what is their name?
My character is a very tall elf by the name of Joachim. What did I give his surname? It's Joachim Laberland. And he will instantly lean forward and be like, Zerul, you did not tell me you had such dashing-looking friends. What a pleasure to meet you, young lady.
Oh, I really like your friends, Zerul. They're really polite. It's lovely to meet you as well. I'm Giliana.
I can see that you're a lady of a good upbringing. What a high-class woman you must be. Noble bloodline, is it?
How did you know?
I too come from nobility. So yes, I guess we recognize our own kind. So wonderful to meet you, Zerul. Where have you been hiding this one?
He is like, you don't even have to roll for this. He is like fully blushing. Like he is like fully, like, from the neck up is just going redder and redder and redder. It's like, unfortunately, I haven't seen Giliana in, what would it be now, 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, give or take.
It would, yeah, somewhere around there. I think that was me doing some very quick math.
I don't think so.
Story-wise, yeah.
Has there not been more?
Well, it depends, because I think wasn't Knight's Valor your first sort of foray into adventuring, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have taken you about 2 to 3 months to get there from Theraseed. It's only been a couple of weeks in game time until you finished a bit in Cairn, and then another month to travel back to Belgravia. So yeah, about 4 or 5 months ish. I've not seen Gilliana in about 4 or 5 months, and honestly, I was beginning to worry. But anyway, sorry, my other comrades, and he points to Chloe. Can you tell us about your character? Oh, I should say as well, Ben, Joaquin, what is your class and race?
He is a Oath of Conquest paladin.
And I believe you are also an elf.
Yes, high elf.
Lovely. He points to Chloe. Can you tell us about your character, please?
Yeah, you see a sort of a dark red-skinned tiefling with similar coloured horns that taper out to black at the edges and burnt orange eyes, and she wears quite well-tailored but nondescript robes with a wand poking out from one of the inside pockets, and sort of just looks at you with a slightly haughty look in her face and goes, "I'm Mercy St. Gone, at your service."
Hello, it's lovely to meet you.
Likewise. And sort of looks you up and down a little bit and goes, one of the sneaky type, I see.
Yes, that is correct. I've actually never had anybody describe it that way, and I like it, so I'm definitely going to be keeping that one for future reference.
Good. Always useful in a pinch. Yeah. And oh yes, Mercy is a divination wizard.
Divination wizard, good to know. And finally, Maddie, can you tell us about your character, please?
Yes, so seated in the last seat at this table is a very tall, quite curvy woman with a unhealthily pale skin tone, huge red tresses, and cat-like green eyes, and she's wearing this incredibly tailored black and red ensemble, and she just looks at Gilliana and is like, "Oh, darling, where did you get that outfit from? I must find out who your tailor is."
Oh my gosh, I am so glad you asked. I actually got it from someone on my travels. I actually don't remember where I got it from though, but I'll think about it and I'll write you a letter. If I pass it again, I will write you a letter and I'll let you know.
Fabulous, darling, thank you. My name is Eleanor Throckmorton, by the way. It's lovely to meet you.
The pleasure is all mine.
You know, Eleanor... Oh, I'm taking on your accent there. You know, Eleanor, if you paid more attention to studies instead of fashion, then perhaps you would get a little further in adventuring.
Well, excuse me, I'll have you know that I have studied very carefully in archaeological pursuits. I'm allowed to have a few side hustles as well.
Perhaps you would be further along in your archaeological pursuits.
Ooh, I suppose. And yes, Eleanor is a College of Swords bard.
But no matter.
Yeah, Eleanor coming in hot. Hey guys, we're just taking a very quick break here because, as you just heard, we have some fantastic guests on this episode. So we're just going to introduce them here, starting with Ben. Ben, tell us about yourself and your show.
Hello. Hi, I'm Ben. I run the Cybertopia podcast, and we're between seasons at the moment. So I've been interviewing all the cast about their characters and stuff. So we did our first season using my own system, Cybertopia, and that went swimmingly. And we're gearing up to season 2 at the moment, but that's a wee ways off yet. So in between seasons, and in the meantime, I regularly play and DM on the His Cursedness Twitch channel. So you can catch me there semi-regularly.
Excellent. Chloe.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm from the podcast Deck of Many Aces, which is the only actual play podcast made with actual asexuals and aromantics. We are, at the minute, about to have a Monster of the Week short series that I will be GMing, which was very, very fun. It's already recorded and everything, so I can't say anything because it would be spoilers. But it's real fun. I write all of the original music for that as well, so you can find all of that on Spotify, Apple Music, and all of that. You can also find me on A Rendezvous with Destiny, which is a Bite Marks actual play podcast. So we're all playing Scottish werewolves in that, which is very fun as well. Actually, that one's a lot less fun. There's a lot more peril and people potentially dying and things in that. No one's died yet, but it keeps feeling like they might. But we're halfway through Mean Girls one shot with that one, just in between seasons that Anne ran. It was very, very fun. She seemed surprised when we were mean to each other, considering it's Mean Girls. And I played the legally distinct but eerily similar Tuesday Stevens. It was just a lot of fun to play with special guest Hamilton as well. And last but not least, speaking of Hamilton, you can find me also on Bowies and Spelljammer, which is on YouTube, on the Roleplay Factory every Saturday at 8 p.m, which Hamilton is running, where we all play different versions of David Bowie, but in space. And I played Jareth the Goblin King, which allowed me to create as much chaos as I liked, which is quite a lot when it comes to me. So yeah, that's me.
Bodes well for this game. And last but not least, Maddie.
Hello, yes, I'm Maddie. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me all over social media at Maddie is Abstract, and there's a link in my bio to all the various things that I do, including being a core cast member of Realms of Peril and Glory, the actual play show with full sound design and original music by the wonderful James Barbarossa. And you can also find me over on my own podcast, A Game of One's Own, which focuses on solo and two-player RPGs, currently on hiatus, but hopefully will be back in the next few months, and already has a few episodes already out for you to enjoy. And you can often find me on streams on Actual Play UK, Girls on These Worlds, Horde of Tales, things like that. So if you follow me on socials, you'll find out whenever I'm streaming.
Fantastic. Just thank you guys so much as well for being here for our little guest episode. This will be the first of several episodes. Generally, obviously, the way we record these, one session ends up with multiple episodes, so we'll have you guys around for at least a few of these, and I'm very excited to see what happens, especially with the promise of so much chaos.
So, Gilliana? Sorry, terrible names. You and Cyril,
Yes, it took him 5 months to remember mine.
childhood friends, sweethearts, maybe.
Cyril very obviously does not make eye contact with you, Gilliana. He is looking literally anywhere else. He also does not want to answer this question.
Cyril, why don't you answer that question?
There's a
Yes,
deep
Cyril.
inhale as he just looks up to the ceiling, and then a sigh. Yes, Joachim, we grew up together. I like to think we were quite close friends growing up in Theraseed. I was very close with one of her elder brothers, and he just sort of lets that hang in the air for a second. But please, so what are you doing here in Belgravia then?
Well, I'm actually a pretty big deal in Belgravia, actually.
You know, that doesn't surprise me.
You see, Eleanor, what happens when you pay attention to your scholarly pursuits?
Yeah. Gilliana is scholarly pursuits.
I don't know where it's come from. It just happened.
I love it.
It was actually my good fashion sense that got me this job, so...
I just looked down in shame.
No. So, you're working in the city then?
Yes, working, saving, they all go into the same pot. But yeah, it's very important work.
Yeah, it's like eyebrows go up when you say like, saving the city. It's like, oh, it sounds like you've been up to a lot then since you left.
Yeah, we've been busy, me and my group. Anyway, enough about me. What are you guys doing here? Like, what brings you over here?
You can see he like shoots a look to the rest of the party, almost like asking you three for permission.
I just like wave my hand dismissively, like, go on.
Don't be shy, Cyril.
Eleanor just sort of shrugs and is like, it's nothing to me.
Yeah, he does like lean in a little bit, and I was like, well, maybe some precautions. And he leans in and he speaks very quietly. Since you've been gone, I have been focusing likewise on my own endeavors, and I have been throwing myself into my work. Unfortunately, right now, part of that work is investigating and rooting out, and you see, like, looks about to make sure there's nobody nearby, sort of listening in, rooting out cult activity. We were given information that there may be an active demon cult in and around the city, and we've spent the last week trying to turn up some leads. As luck would have it, we believe that a warehouse down by the river dock, tied to one of the minor nobility, is being used as part of the cult's activities. We were going to head there tonight to investigate. And again, he just sort of lets that hang in the air.
As he says that, Joachim will sit up very straight, almost like a meerkat, and kind of dart his head around to see if anyone's listening in. So anyone hear demons?
Mercy will just put a hand on his shoulder and like sit him back down in the seat, just like, look while sitting.
Interesting. So what makes you think that there's demon cult behavior around here? Sorry, that was whispered.
Yeah, it's like, demons!
Everyone's like...
He sort of leans back. You see him like look up at the ceiling as if he's not like he's being rude, but like you see he's trying to recount information in his head to get everything in order. And he says, the report we were sent was that there were an increase in illegal transportation of certain goods, certain materials, both arcane and demonic in nature. They were linked to a location within the city. And since we've arrived, we have found there has been a higher than average reporting of missing people. We believe that is tied to the cult activity, unfortunately.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I mean, I don't really have a lot to do today, so if you need an extra pair of hands to help out, I am happy to lend a hand.
I would say, because you got a natural 20 on your insight check earlier, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I'll let that carry through to now. You can see he's like, again, he's not looking directly at you. He was like trying very visibly to not look directly at you. You can see he's afraid of what emotion he might give away. But you do see there is like a flicker of appreciation that he didn't have to ask. That you can tell he wanted to ask you to do that, but also was like too embarrassed to. He didn't want to be like, will you come and tag along? So he's like genuinely pleased that you've offered to do that, but he doesn't want to show it. And you see him like pretending to think about it for a second, and he says, yes, actually we were supposed to have an additional member traveling with us. Unfortunately, they took ill right before we had to set off, so the additional hands would be very much appreciated.
I did warn them of that particular mushroom, but...
We did warn him, but he unfortunately did not listen. But obviously I can't ask you to do this, but if you're willing to, it is, as you know, these things exceptionally dangerous, and I would... There's a very, very real moment of seriousness. It's like, I would not forgive myself if you were injured, but I would be lying if I said we didn't need the help.
Well, lucky for you, I'm very good at this, and if I die, then I'm sure you can explain to my brothers what happened to me, and that will be very pleasant for you. So...
What is it you actually do, Juliana? You are a demon fighter yourself, or...
You could say I'm a demon fighter. I'll fight anything. To be honest, me and my group, we've fought a lot. We actually killed a lich. So
and you guys would know that genuinely without any further information regarding that, that is exceptionally impressive for what appears to be an adventurer of the same caliber of you guys.
And she'll hold her hands up like this.
Wow, my goodness. We have a celebrity among us.
When you see that, Cerul's eyes like genuinely go wide and like just turns to you and like mouths, a lich?
Yeah, and she'll be like, yeah, an actual lich. Horrendous.
Oh, be damned.
Sorul, I like this one. Why have you not brought her up before?
Yeah, I'm actually offended. Why have I not been brought up before? Cerul?
Give me a persuasion check. I want to see if you can how honest he's going to be, but we'll see.
I am very good at this, so that was a mistake.
Yeah, we'll see how well you prickle him.
25.
Christ. Yeah, you say that, like you say, like I'm offended you've not brought me up. Why haven't you brought me up? And there, once again, with that natural 20, like even if he was trying to hide his emotions, you can read him. Like you know him so well, but there's once again a very real moment of sincerity and a light sigh, and this time he does look you directly in the eyes and he says, because it was painful.
Yeah. Anyway, when are we gonna go?
Mercy just like looks at you so thankful for changing the conversation and is like, right, well, we were going to go this evening, but a little preparation will never hurt.
I can't promise you any liches, but I'd be glad to have you along. Amazing. I've never met anyone that's even met a lich before. You hold up a high five, like.
She'll return the high five.
If you have any juicy details, please do send them my way. I'd love to compose a little ditty about the whole thing. I think it could get quite popular in the taverns around the city.
Oh my...
Oh, Eleanor's ditties are a delight. You will love it.
I will.
That is a love-hate relationship.
Oh yes.
This is what it's like with Twilight and Gilliana, and John's like, do you actually hate each other or are you friends? And it's more fun that way.
The answer is to both is yes.
Yeah, I'll absolutely send my... I think my friend Twilight does have notes on this. She's a prolific writer, so I will get her to give me her notes and pass them along.
Excellent. Well, I'll put a little marketing out there for you, just as because I like your face. I think we could get along very well.
Thank you so much. That means so much.
Just making a note of that, so that at some point in the future, Eleanor's song might appear. But yeah, in the meantime, you guys press Gilliana for details about this epic adventure, and you while away a little bit of time in the tavern. Obviously, you guys, as a party, would have already had all of your equipment and stuff, but obviously, Gilliana, if you felt the need to, you have a bit of time before Cerul and the group plan to head out. You could go and pick up any additional equipment you think you might need.
I have no idea. I have no idea what I would
do you
need.
have any like health potions and stuff on? Actually, a good question is, do you have any gold written on your character sheet?
Do I have any what?
Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Do you have any health potions? Would you want to stock up on health potions before you left?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I was like, oh, I have a health potion. It's a potion of poison, so that probably wouldn't do anybody any favors.
Don't drink that one.
Let's go and get some health potions. That would be really helpful.
Cool. If you're just looking to get like regular ones, they're like 50 gold each. Would you be wanting any of the more robust ones?
How dangerous can this be? I'm sure they will be fine. Two though, just in
Just a
case.
demon call.
Cool. 100 gold, you get 2 health potions, and for everyone else's benefit, all of you will be carrying 1 health potion each. Just standard.
Cool.
It's more of like an emergency. If you go down, somebody else feeds it to you and you get up. Cool. You guys, Danny, you nip out at one point, run down to the local alchemists, grab a couple of health potions, and return just in time for the party to gather all their equipment and begin getting ready to head out. As you've been told...
I'm going to cast Mage Armor before... No, I didn't take that one. I thought I had. Never mind.
as you've already been told by Cerule, you're heading down to the river docks, which are just like outside the city proper, still within like one of the defensive walls, but it is outside the the actual like shopping, like housing district and all that. So you're out beyond the city proper, and you head to an area that is mostly full of like warehouses and storage yards and things like that. And Cerule sort of leads the way, and you get to within sort of like a street away, and he points out a large warehouse just directly ahead of you guys. You can see there are some pretty high windows, relatively small, and a single large, like wagon-wide door for like carting goods in and out. But you guys, I would imagine as part of like the conversation and stuff, you know, before you guys head out, so we'll probably ask you, Danny, Giliana, a few questions about like your experience in the city. Would you have told him that you've like spent a bit of time here previously?
Yeah. Why not?
Cool. He would actually probably have like let you largely lead the way. He would have told you like what direction you were heading, but he would have relied on your like knowledge of the streets. He would have told you that this was his first time in Belgravia, so he would have relied on you to get you where you're going. So I imagine you're like up the front, but you guys see this warehouse in front of you. There are lights shining through these windows, but otherwise this appears to be like any other warehouse. You do see there is an insignia above the door, which is like a house crest, and Cerule points it out. That is the crest of the minor noble house, the Marshwoods. We believe they're tied with this cult and are using the warehouse for transporting and storing illegal substances, arcane, and we believe just some general drug trafficking, which of course not good, but not really our concern.
Can I cast Detect Magic just to have it up for the next 10 minutes?
Cool.
See if there's anything around us near the door.
Around the door, no, there is no sort of magic within. I'll say that you guys, if you want to, can like do like a scout around the building. There is one door, several windows, which are all like 40, 50 feet up. They're like right at the top. They're not for looking through, they're for letting light in. But there's no magic anywhere around the extremity of the building.
Well, if this door is locked, it is not by magic at least. Perhaps there is a side or a back entrance, something a little less obvious.
And like I say, if you guys make a whole route of the building, there is just one big door. Like this is very much like a warehouse. It is like a big shed.
Yeah. Sorry, is there a lock on it?
Not visible from the outside, no. And there are lights on, which would imply there's probably somebody inside.
So there's no lock. Just can I push it?
I mean, yeah, if you want to walk up and try the door, it's like it's like a big, heavy door. So it does have like a latch handle, so you can tell it's like it can keep itself closed, but there's no visible like padlock or anything on it.
Should I? What do we think, guys?
Yeah, let's try and be as sneaky as possible. Stares at the paladin, who's probably wearing heavy armor, and just for the time being, at least, I guess.
I'm pretty good at bluffing if we find ourselves in trouble.
I like it. Let's go. I'll do it stealthily though. I'll sneak up and I'll try the door.
Cool. Where would everyone want to be? I would imagine if Giliana is going to go straight up to the door, Cerule is going to stand just off to the side, like so. If the door opens, he's not visible, but he is within like reach distance of Giliana.
I would like to stand a little behind Cerule, but like a little further away from the door, just so I've got like line of sight in the door.
I think I'll go the other side of Giliana, just a little bit away, so I can jump in if things get hairy.
Cool. So, Giliana, are you just going to try the door, or what's your plan? Are you going to knock on the door?
Oh, should we? Oh God. How she'll whisper. How unfriendly do we think this cult is? Like, is it a knock or is it like a kick through the door? All guns all crossbows blazing.
Crossbows blazing. Cerule sort of shrugs. I mean, demon cult. I would say so long as we get inside and can have a look around, whatever is going to draw the least attention from any watchmen who might be coming nearby.
Let's try and be friendly, at least at first.
Yeah, you knock on the door.
Why not?
Give me a perception check.
9.
You
That's
hear,
fine.
you
Nothing
hear
wrong.
some noises inside, like scraping noises. I will say, yeah, why not? Eleanor and Cyril, because you guys are by the door as well. Both of you guys can make a check. I'm rolling 2d20, just the one. 18. Cool.
That is 16 for me.
Cool. So both Eleanor and Cyril would hear like the scraping of both of you, say you and me, would hear. It's very weird playing a DMPC. I don't like it. I'm rolling against myself.
I think you're the first DM I've ever heard to say that.
I don't like playing DMPCs. I think because the whole time I'm like, how much is too much to do when I'm also running the game? Both of those characters, your characters, these guys, the people, would hear. Do you know when there's like a noise just on the edge of hearing and you don't know it's there until it stops? There's that sensation. There was something going on, then it stops for like a second. Then there's the sound of a chair scraping and footsteps as somebody moves towards the door. Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks very much for sticking with us. As usual, I would just like to thank Lixie B for our wonderful logo and Jeff for all of the fantastic art for our characters in Season 2. Don't forget you can check out more of Jeff's work on our online store where you can find his artwork used on our stickers and t-shirts. Also a massive shout out to the Storm Weather Shanty Choir for allowing us to use their song Drunken Sailor as our intro and outro music. Also a massive thank you to our wonderful sponsors DM Dice and Arcanist Rum. Find links to both of their websites in our description. And finally, a massive shout out and thank you to all of our Patreon supporters who continue to support us in everything we do. Your support means the world to us, and we hope that we can go on making fantastic content thanks to you. Sort of cheating this week in that our recommended podcasts are the 3 shows from our guests today. So please do go and check them out. We'll have all of the links in the description, but they were Cybertopia, Realms of Peril and Glory, and Deck of Many Aces. I've had such a great time getting to know and play more games with all the amazing people in the UK actual play community through AP UK, and it is an absolute joy to be able to host a few of them as guests on our podcast. So I hope you enjoyed listening to them as much as I've enjoyed running for them. We obviously have a few more episodes coming with these same guests, and you might be in for a bit of a surprise in a few of the upcoming episodes as well. Just a little bit of sort of self-promotion as well, but for those of you who've been listening for a while will know that I am also a professional GM, as well as running the games for this podcast, among others. And just this past weekend, I got to run a game at my first Rolldark Fest. Rolldark is the company that I do the professional GMing through. They have had several of these all-day D&D events in the past. This was my first one, and it was a lot of fun. And since coming back, Rob, who runs Rolldark, has already sort of set a date and a location for the next one. So if you'd be interested in an all-day D&D event and you are based in England, probably towards the south as it is going to be in Salisbury, we have already got the date set for Rolldark Fest 4. And that is going to be on the 12th of October, I believe. It was a lot of fun, and I'm already really excited about the next one. So, if you're around and that's something that would interest you, do have a check on the Rolldark website and check out the live events. Tickets should be going up soon, I hope, if they're not already up now. And finally, you may have seen it on our social media posts, but the Crit Awards are open now, and we would be really, really appreciative if any of our listeners would see it in their enormous hearts to nominate us for any of the various awards that they have on offer. I've already heard from a couple of you guys, some of our listeners, who have said they've already nominated us, and I genuinely cannot thank you guys enough that you took the time out to go and do that. I know it's only a few minutes, but it means a lot to all of us. All the guys in the group were really excited when I told them. I have no idea how the Crit Awards work. I don't know if you have to have like a minimum number of nominations, but the fact that some of you have already gone out of your way is enough for us. We really, really appreciate that. But other than that, that's it for this week, folks. Thanks very much for sticking with us, and we'll see you soon.